Thomas, how is your pee break?
My pee break?
They might flash you undetected.
Random, baby.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I, too, am a thought criminal.
Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome to Talk to Me, Taylor. You know, there's a lot uncertain in the world right now, but if there are two things that I know, it's that this crew here in our little corner of the internet known as Talk to Me, Taylor, we can actually handle opposing views. And two is that we are going to do our goddamn best to keep the spirit of democracy alive. You know what I mean? Aye, captains and mateys, let's do this. I feel like there's kind of two ways to go about said democracy, said debate, free exchange of ideas, what's left of it. And I'm going to put it to you this way, everybody. And this is what today's episode is really going to kind of encapsulate. You know, I have to have a theme because I'm OCD, but either you go about and navigate said topics with small dick energy or big dick energy. I feel like it's as simple as that. You know, I feel like we've kind of complicated things and it's actually really not that complicated. You know, and it could be anything. It could be protest. It could be because the last thing we want is what oddly like some very prominent people would actually like, and people, media entities, is for everybody to have groupthink and think like the other and be little clones, you know, like little fembots of one another. Fembot, but make it hot and be a free thinking one at least, you know? And that's just not the vibe. Like, why would we want to just have one big kind of osmosis of thought? So I'm all for, you know, debating or going up against something or having your voice, protesting, all of it, right? But at least have the big dick energy. Like, don't be a little bitch in all of it, basically, is what I have to say. I mean, that is my TED Talk. Do I just wrap this up here? I don't think so. We got some topics today on my handy note card, baby. And what is up, Pyramid 7 coming in hot with the flames. So first things first is Israel-Hamas peace deal. And, you know, there's all of this talk about what Trump did, how it's so unprecedented, and the Nobel Peace Prize. And just something to bear, but this is a little sidebar before we actually get into this and what we're seeing here, but just a little sidebar to bear in mind is that, well, let me be clear, John Legend, no one in this chat has small dick energy, but, you know, people out there in the cultural conversation, people out there on the internets, are having the small dick energy. But excuse me, but anyways, there's talk of will Trump get the Nobel Prize and all this, and how Obama, what was it, in like the first 9 months or something got it, and Trump had like 6 peace. He made 6 peace deals by now, and he hasn't gotten one yet. And I guess tomorrow on Friday, we will find out. But just bear in mind, again, it's one of those things where it's like accolades and what really matters is, and is it arbitrary? Like, I think, of course, he should, you know. And it's so funny, like, you have people in suppressed countries being like, Trump, Nobel Prize, you know, but over here, it's like, you know, rolling in their grave. But even the Nobel Prize organization in and of itself is not all peachy keen. You guys should go back. I had an interview with Uni Tortini a couple years ago on the show, and she did a whole kind of investigation, and she has all these stories about the Nobel Prize like organization. And it is just, again, like everything we talk about, like narratives, lack of transparency. I also saw something today that was like Gandhi never got it. So basically, what does it all mean the fuck anyways? Yeah, there's a lot of small dick energy out there. We're going to get to it today, John Legend. And again, like how to decipher the two. And again, because I'm all for going up at bat, standing your ground, even like combating someone or another idea or negating something or even debating, like I said, but like do it with that energy. Like, don't be a little puss, you know? So that's what's interesting about the Nobel. It's like at the end of the day, and we know Trump wants it, right? He's like, glory to the peacemakers, i.e. me. Like Jesus reincarnated Donald J. Trump. But just bear that in mind. You guys should go back and watch that episode I did because it's really fascinating about how even an organization like Nobel Peace Prize, which seems like an oxymoron, it's like it's all for peace, and yet they have all this corruption and lack of transparency and again narratives and all this going on behind the scenes and like how they choose things and how they go about their business. So just bear that in mind. Yeah, Pyramid 7's like rigged. Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, guys, it's like what I used to say about Hollywood award shows. Like people butthurt and bent out of shape. It's like, I didn't get a Grammy. It's like, okay, you didn't get a vote by like the 50 people who don't even know who Morgan fucking Wallen is. Like, why do you care what they think? They lean to the sides a lot. Okay, is that cool lingo that I just don't know, John Legend? Please elaborate. But okay, the Israel-Hamas peace deal. So. Sometimes, you know, you got people who, and I know this is a very heated topic, and you guys know I am very passionate about said topic. You should go back. I did a recent Substack about Hamas, how they like literally are doing the celebrity PR of the century. Like Hollywood Walk so Hamas could run was the title of my Substack. I did an episode about it recently on a Friday. But you have little dick energy. Like, again, I talked about when Jennifer Lawrence came out of the woodwork and was like, this is a genocide and I'm scared for my kids. Like, bitch, what does this have to do with your kids except for Lord knows what fucking unhinged Islamic radicals are sleeping under your bed at night. So maybe in that regard, you should be worried. But John Cusack, another actor, decided to enter the chat. And he basically said, like he retweeted an image of Gaza basically like being leveled, which it has been, right? And was just like, Israel's like pure evil. And this stuff just, it's like, to me, it's just, that's like such little dick energy. Again, like we can acknowledge how horrible everything that went down in Gaza was, but I am so sick of this. Like, I don't know why it won't. At this point now, we're 2 years since October 7th, right? The deadliest day for Jews since the Holocaust. I don't know why it's not getting through people's thick skulls that Israel could have committed genocide and didn't, and Hamas and all the Iranian proxies want to wipe out the Jews but can't. Like, what part of this equation of basically the world has been trying to exterminate and eradicate Jews in Israel since the land before time, merely fighting for survival? And frankly, I feel like Rob said this on his show the other night. Again, this was Hamas's doing, like purposefully making their people pawns. Do you think they gave two fucks about starving kids, about this, about that? In fact, they used it as part of their PR promo movie trail. Like, look how evil Israel, da da da. Meanwhile, let's execute all the Jews. And I feel like Bibi, it's like what Rob said. Bibi's like, not my fucking problem. Get out from under all your little tunnels and let's end this shit. You know, but it's like, nope, Israel the evil, Israel the monsters. Again, I don't even know why I must be a masochist but I can handle opposing views and I actually do want to see what's out there. But I keep coming back to watch Candace Owens because I'm like, let's see what this bitch has to say. And I'm starting to think more and more. I mean, I've said this to you guys, but she's just such she's a genius media mastermind and manipulator, right? And she has all these people wrapped around her finger, but just this insidious way of thinking and the gaslighting of how Zionists and Jews are one and the same, and they're all so dark and evil and bad, and you better watch yourself. And the same people after Charlie Kirk and Kanye, and now me, and I'm giving all my private stuff to other people in case they take me out. They're coming for you. Watch your back. Like this big ominous thing, as if it's all Jews. Like it drives me insane. And I'm starting to think like the people who watch her show and are I watch it, but the people who follow her like minions, I'm starting to honestly believe at this point, like they're just low IQ and just literally that stupid. and brainwashed, because again, that's where she's so sneaky, because it's all under the guise of like, what? I'm just fighting for the truth. What? I'm just asking questions. And it's really quite dark and it's really quite sick. And I feel like it's what lends itself to my very, very much little dick energy that I'm about to get to now, that we see. And how in its own way, it is such it placates into this extreme. Like, I could see the people in the streets being like, by any means necessary, we'll do another October 7th, are the ones like giving Candace Owens a standing ovation. That's what's so wild, how they like feed into one another. And you guys know this, but I'm so not that Jew that's uptight about shit. Like, call out the government, question it, make fun of Jews, joke, like all those things. I'm not one of those people who's like, wait, you did what? Like, I don't think it helps us. That's the problem, that I feel like even like entities like Black Lives Matter, like they all made that mistake, because then everybody was walking on eggshells and they were like, you guys are a mess. Pyramid 7, I hope it works out. Political correctness makes impotent energy. Yeah. So that's what's going on there. And it's just the little dick energy in this is that there are people still not satisfied. And notice how all of the like ceasefire now people, like, where they at? I don't see them. Like, weird how that works, right? Because again, it's not enough. And that's where you have to ask yourself, like, how far does it go? Like, this is how far. Okay. First of all, I saw, and it's really nice to see like videos of Israelis and Palestinians cheering that, they're going to be entering phase 1 now and all this, right? But I've also seen videos of essentially Palestinians in the street cheering, like, take out all the Jews still. Like, slaughter all the Jews, massacre all the Jews, like, okay. But here on US soil, if you've seen it in a little land called Manhattan. And I saw a video, again, it's like, did they not see the peace deal that just happened? Like, what are we even talking about? That's what I'm saying. This was never about quote unquote peace or even a 2-state solution. Like, I'm starting to really be like, no, they just literally want to wipe out Jews that badly. Like, there's a video of this man, and there's this whole like Palestinian, again, from the river to the sea, everyone in their garbs and the whole thing, in Manhattan, taking to the streets, like being like, glory to the martyrs, as if it was like October 7th all over again. Like, I don't know what planet you guys are living on. And this guy's on a megaphone and he's like, we will come back stronger than October 7th. We will do. I'm like sitting here. I'm like, oh, okay, this is lovely. Like, so the brutal rapes and massacres, beheading of just killings, gunning down on the street in apartments, like, we're going to do that bigger and better and louder, literally, I think he says, but on US soil. Like, okay, nothing to see here. And this is, at this point, again, it's what was underneath all along. And it's what I've been trying to shout from the rooftops. Like, again, I'm so not that person, the boy who cried wolf of every little thing's like anti-Semitic this, anti-Semitic that. But bitch, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, I'm so, like, what the fuck? Like, what are we even talking about? And it's funny because I actually bought one of those little ring doorbell things with the camera. And my boyfriend was here and he's like, you live in such a safe place. And I was like, listen, I'm on the internet, I'm outspoken. And I was like, and everyone hates Jews. So I literally trust no bitch. Like, but where's the lie? Like, where is the lie? He was like, yeah, that's fair enough. So this whole environment, and again, I'm like, to what end? But it's one thing for it to be happening over there. Like, we know over there, even in surrounding countries, like I said, Iran and all the proxies hate Jews, have been antagonizing Israel, want to take it out from the river to the sea, as people in Manhattan were screaming, which means kill them all. True genocide, like, take them all out, which again, people can't get through their fucking heads. And I lost my train of thought there, but it's floating in a river of its own. Like, just wondering what the fuck is going on. People are just born assholes. Yeah, that's kind of what actually Pyramid 7, this episode, is about. As a little bit of paranoia connection. Facts. I've had viewers be like, keep your head on a swivel ever since the The Charlie Kirk thing. Yeah. But I lost my train of thought there a little bit. But yes, but basically you guys get it, that again, underneath, it's just such a, like, again, out for blood, out for death, out for, like, watch the I brought this up in my recent episode. Watch the Bin Laden 9/11 documentary on Netflix. Like, this is like the radical Islamic, literally, it's not hiding it. And it's like, this is what people, and I've been trying to say it. It's literally death to Israel, death to America. Okay. Again, this was never about just like peace and a ceasefire. Because again, where are all these bitches? I search high or search low. I don't see them. You would think all these fuckers, right? All these people in the house, AOC and her cronies. You would think all these people in Hollywood with their little pin, ceasefire now. You real quiet. Why? Because all the Jews ain't dead? I mean, really, it's like, it's out of control, and people just are so brainwashed and can't see it for what it is. So that is little dick energy, because again, at this point, you are just like, that's a true monster. That's what's so crazy. It's like Israel, and yes, defending itself. Yes, hear my words, bitch. Everyone's like, oh, defending itself. Actually, yes. Read a history book. I don't know. It's not that hard. Like, actually, yes. Yeah. From its known adversaries out in broad daylight being like, we want to kill you all. Yeah, I got into a debate about this recently, and I said, if somebody came into your house and was like, we're going to murder all of you and your entire bloodline and burn your house down, are you going to be like, let's make a deal, sir? Yay. But like, imagine if, and I said this to the person, imagine the US being attacked like this. The US would go scorch the fuck earth on, and it would resurrect Daenerys and all the dragons, and no, not the Blake Lively bullshit kind, and go scorched earth. So I'm so sick of this shit from these a-holes in Manhattan, even to the Candace Owens. It's just like really gross all around. And that's little dick energy, because like wanting death on people, I don't know about you guys, but it's like that goes beyond just being insecure. Like at that point, you're just straight up dark and disturbed and deranged. So I would say that warrants even more than little dick energy. Moving on is, I never thought that I would say this, but like, what kind of upside down world are we living in? But guys, I have to admit, I am not everything that he says, because like Nick Fuentes like hates Israel. That's fine. But he's making more and more sense to me lately. Like things that he's saying, I'm like, all right, it's not actually that crazy. Again, don't know where I'm residing or what simulation I'm in, but here we are. But I saw a clip of him talking on a show that's been circulating recently. And this is where honestly, I actually did agree with him. And see, to me, and now I'm a little apprehensive about putting big dick energy and Nick Fuentes in the same sentence or the same arena. But this like owning things for what it are and differences for what they are, I actually feel like is the way to go, versus being like, they should just all be dead. Be like, what kind of animal are you? But he went on the show and said, like, we're all a little bit racist. We all have our prejudices. We all have stereotypes. And I was like, actually, yeah. Like, where is the lie? I mean, I know I do. I'm not going to lie about that. And if people were really honest, like if people were actually honest, white people, of course, have stereotypes about Black people and are racist, even if it's like so deep down. Black people certainly are racist toward white people. But even you have like Ali Wong is hilarious about this, like how different types of Asian people are racist toward one another and all this, and like Italians and blacks and Jews, like it just goes on and on, right? But I actually really appreciated him for this, because I was like, yeah, like it's something that I think, but I never say out loud. But sometimes when you see the stereotypes play out, yeah, Pyramid 7, it's true. It is true. It's true, right? When you see the stereotypes play out. Like I was talking about one the other day about Cardi B in a really ratchet beef with somebody with Nicki Minaj. Yes, with Nicki Minaj. And I just was like, ladies, what is actually happening? Like the stereotype is being brought to life. But that's the kind of thing. And again, in the end, Nick Fuentes says that either way, we have to squash, discrimination, inequality, all of that. But I do feel like that's kind of the way to go about it, because what we've been doing for the last couple of years is tiptoeing around and being like, you know, no. All Jews are perfect. All women are perfect. All Black people are perfect. I don't have any biases or discrimination. And that's just not real. Like, it's like, just be real, just own it. And then we can actually move forward and progress when everything is out in the light, And of course, like, once we can open it up is when we can actually progress and move forward, because some stereotypes, like, I know it's not all fun and games. There are, of course, silly ones, but some actually are fucked up. Like, even watching Candace Owens over and over, like, I know I'm bringing it back to this bitch, but it's like, she insists that, again, this is where it's no longer just the evil Zionist thing, but she'll just put this blanket thing, how like all Jews are victims, Bibi Netanyahu's a victim, all this. And it looks so ignorant. It's like, lady, look at what we're even talking about in the context of history. People fighting for their survival when they're 0.2% of the population on this earth. Like, could you not? Or ones, there are stereotypes about all kinds of people. Women can't drive. I don't know, whatever it is, right? So it's like, fine, let's air them out. Candace Owens can run her little trap, but let's air it out and confront it and combat it, so it's not this like boogeyman in the shadows. Like, fine, Am I the best driver, by the way? I don't know. Watch your fucking back on the 40 in Nashville. No. So all that to say, I actually appreciated Nick Fuentes for that plot twist of the goddamn century, because it is facts. It's truth. And hiding it isn't going to help us or serve us. And again, that's kind of distinguishing the dick energy, right? Versus like going out in the street being like, they all need to die. Like, I don't know if that's like a flex for you. Probably not. I don't know. Call me crazy. The next thing that's really fucking funny is, did you guys see that Turning Point is kind of doing like a protest against the Bad Bunny halftime show and putting on their own? It's like America First halftime, or America's halftime show. And a couple of thoughts about this, right? One, when I first saw the Bad Bunny thing, and that's the other thing too, I've spent time in Puerto Rico. I can admit I have so many hangups about Puerto Ricans. There, I said it. Do I say it on the air? I don't know. Maybe one day I actually will do that. Counterintuitive to everything I just said. That's like, let's just air it out. But I definitely do. My boyfriend spent a lot of time there. He knows. He's like, Taylor in Puerto Rico, they do not jive. Like, they do not. Like, I definitely have preconceptions and like judgments, if you will, I guess, stereotypes about Puerto Ricans. Okay. And just like, yeah, where do I begin? Anyways, let me just not look like the biggest fucking racist on this stream on a Thursday night. So, but okay, on the flip side of that, right? Because people were like wigging out, namely the right, that Bad Bunny was the halftime Super Bowl performer, and he's Puerto Rican and doesn't even sing in English. This is where I was like, okay, number one, who cares? This is where the right sets, and this is coming from me, okay, with my biases against Puerto Ricans. So, I'm coming from some sense here. I was even like, this is where the right gets set up to look like crazy white people who like can't hang with, like, this is where they look like white nationalists, where it's like, he doesn't even speak English. Like, you guys are just, it's the low hanging fruit. It's the softball. Like, I know it's a different sport, but it is like, you guys just make it too easy for people to troll you and roast you if you're going to get upset over Bad Bunny doing the Super Bowl and be like, he doesn't even speak English. Da, da, da. I just thought it was so silly. I'm like, guys, you take the bait. Like, you make it too easy for your critics, especially because the right is all about freedom and free expression. It's like, but what happened? Like, Bad Bunny doesn't count. Am I a Bad Bunny fan? No. But like, and they're all up in arms too because he's worn dresses and done all this weird shit, whatever. So turning point, and I just think that this is hilarious. See, like, to me, this is like a fun kind of trolling. And again, this is like the on the opposite side of the spectrum of going in the street and calling for people to be dead. If you want something done, if you want to counteract what you're seeing, like doing something about it, to me, again, this is like doing it in a way that is like, if you're going to do it, then do it. And this is sort of kind of like, it's a little bit trolling, but it's funny. And it's also like, you got to hand it to them. It is their message of like, America's sport, America first, and da da da. And they're going to release a lineup. How much do you want to bet it's going to be like Kid Rock, like crushing a beer, John Rich, like all the usual suspects? But Bucker about, yeah, completely stupid. They bicker about stupid. My Mill loves, what is MIL? Loves Puerto Rico, but then again, she loves anything with a dick. So there's that. Guys, maybe if you get me drunk enough, I will tell you my real feelings about Puerto Rico. Okay. So yeah, that was that was like, to me, a version of like, all right, like it's a little silly, it's a little extra, but again, like it's sort of like, if you want something done, do it yourself. And I think that we can discern genocide being different from putting on a halftime show. Just my thoughts, right? Again, small versus big dick energy in it. And people also took what he said out of, like, I saw him on SNL and he was like, he spoke in Spanish, and then he was like, if you didn't understand that, you have 4 months to learn. And he wasn't being a dick about it. He was joking, but the right is so up in arms. Like, he said we only have 4 months to learn English. And it's like, I like being the melting pot. Shit, my mom is off the boat from Italy, as you guys know. Oh, mother-in-law. Okay, I'm crying right now. Pyramids, not Pyramid 7, putting his mother-in-law on blast in the comments. That is iconic. So, okay, last thing that is little dick energy is the Katie Porter video and also Joy Reid. Again, these people are just so far gone. It's like there's no art at this point of the counteract. That's the beauty, I've said before, of free speech. It's like you can hear speech, even hate, quote unquote, hate speech, but be louder, be stronger, be better. These bitches ain't none of those things. They have just lost the plot and they're a lost cause. Joy Reid is so far gone. And same thing with Don Lemon, because she's in a clip with him and she's talking. And have you seen this new thing that Don Lemon is trying to do? Like, go out and like basically race bait the people of New York City. Like, what, dude, what are you doing? Like, leave this man in his bodega alone. Like, the man in the hot dog stand, like, in peace. What are you trying to do? But Joy Reid is like, I hate JD Vance so much. Get a load of this. That if he were like burning my kitten from saving my kitten from a burning house, I still wouldn't like him. And Don Lemon's laughing. Like, are you two okay? Like, literally, like, who hurt you? Who hurt you? And that's the thing too with the little dick energy. It's like insecurity with all this. You almost need to go to like, who hurt you? And I know even with the Gaza Israel thing, like, I'm not going to get through to anybody. Probably it's wishful thinking. I'm not going to get through to anybody who truly thinks that Israel is committing genocide, apartheid, colonization, all that. I'm probably not going to get through to them, right? But even like the Candace Owens of it all, and I know I keep bringing it up because I just cannot. It's like, who hurt you and why was it Ben Shapiro? like it has to come from a personal like vendetta, right? But Katie Porter too. She is the Dems are just in shambles. Like, she was a hopeful to run for California governor, and this bitch was just caught on the hot mic, left, right, and sideways. She was caught just annihilating on camera. Like, this is the type of woman who would be a nightmare to work for. Okay. Like, I'm talking the kind who puts you in therapy. She's doing a video like I am right now, and there's someone behind her, and she literally, guys, is like, you're in my fucking shot. You're in my fucking shot. It's like the Devil Wears Prada and the actual devil's daughter, but like not chic or classy. Like, it was literally unhinged. But then she did an interview, and the interviewer is basically asking her, if you're really hopeful about this, basically she's asking, like, you're going to have to get the people in California who voted for Trump, because even though California is largely left, there are a lot of Trump supporters and a lot of conservatives there in like certain pockets and all this. And she goes literally the lady just asked her matter of fact. And she's like, I'm not going to take this argumentative. I'm cutting the interview now. This is just combative. It's literally psychotic. And it's like, that's a totally fair question. Like, what are we talking about? Again, this is common sense. Like, if you want to win a state, don't you have to get a majority of voters? Like, what? What the fuck? Little dick energy. Yeah. These monsters are sick on the spew. Absolute bottom feeders. At least Lemon isn't out here trying to give free prostate checks any longer. He's just reaching. It's so irrelevant, so sad. Get out of my shot. Yeah, it will leave you shaking. But the last thing I will say, and then I will let this go, is Gavin Newsom kind of trolling Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan went on and made comments about Gavin Newsom, how he wants to be president so badly, but he's so out of touch and his state is like quite literally burning. And I know I was one of the people who left, and Joe Rogan left as well. And he's like, everyone's leaving. Like, what gives you the audacity to think you're now going to do this to the whole country? Like, thanks, but no thanks. Like, is this a preview? Is this a preview in the AMC theaters, that the previews that never end? Like, what are we talking about? The people leaving, the homelessness, all this. So Gavin Newsom writes a whole list and he's like, Joe Rogan, you're too chicken to have me come on your show. So since you're not going to have me on, like, here's all the things really going well in California. And I feel like Joe Rogan should have Gavin Newsom on. Again, I think that this is the big dick energy that I am advocating for. Really kind of hash it out and not do it passive aggressively. And I get it. I get that it's easier said than done, but that's what we need. Like, I'm all for it. I would like to see that happen. Because again, what gets accomplished in like subtweeting and then like a passive aggressive comment here. And you all may be thinking, okay, well, where is your invite for Candace Owens? I don't think Candace Owens could be bothered with me. She doesn't even know who I am. And she would probably make it her life's mission to just completely annihilate and troll me like she does anyone else who crosses her path, which again, all for the content and the views, I guess. But all that to say, anyone is welcome on this show. I truly mean it. Maybe short of somebody in Hamas, because I do have regard for my life. I don't know. But, otherwise, guys, that is the big dick energy I'm talking about. Because if you are so rooted in your beliefs, then what do you have to be afraid of? Right? What do you got to be afraid of? And so just take that, with you tonight. And, as you go forward, be it like on the internet or what you take in or your family or your friends and debating and conversing and whatever it is, it's like, what kind of energy am I giving out right now? All right. Appreciate you guys. Happy Thirsty Thursday. And like I said, maybe, just maybe, if you get me, tipsy enough one of these Thursdays, you will really get my thoughts on some people. Oh, no, she didn't. Not me just generalizing everyone and everything. All right, guys. Good night. See you tomorrow. Chris, how is your pee break?
My pee break.
They might flash you.
Understand.
Wear them, baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I too am a thought criminal.
Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
No.
Around?
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome